I've been using this thing wrong. Generic Control in the TF2 here, back with another Zesty Jesus reaction. Today we're reacting to TF2 Enter the Dragon's Fury, which is a gun that's used by pirates. Basically like a flamethrower shotgun kind of thing. I actually use it on Pyro, and I should be streaming TF2 today at 5 p.m. East Standard Time over on Twitch, link down below in the description, or an hour and a half after this video goes live. You all have shown so much love for my Zesty Jesus videos in the past, so thank you to that. You know, check out my last TF2 video, which I believe was, oh yeah, it was Texas Style by Uncle Dane, was last week's video. I'll leave it right up there. Also link down below in the description. You check that out. I've done other Zesty's videos. They're fantastic. I love his editing style, his creation. There's definitely worth a watch. Definitely go check out the original video. It's the first link down below in the description. He'll also be in the comment section. I read every comment and reply to a lot of them. I'm against paywall, so shouts to my patrons who get the videos a day early. So I love TF2. I'm excited to see what he thinks about the Dragon's Fury, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people think this is like Pyro's one of his best weapons. I mean, the Flog's also really good, but let's go ahead and jump on into it. All right. Oh, it's a sound. It does make a weird sound.
Whenever I decide to play Pyro, I usually just stick with the stock.
I should be streaming today at 5. TF2. You join too.
Want to perform at maximum capacity. The back burner and the degreaser and
no,
the phlogistonator are options, sure, but
I like
they
the Flog.
provide little incentive for me to ever use them.
Back
Consider the back burner, which lets you deal
like the
critical
backscatter
from behind, whose hit registration relies on what the game considers to be a
is
very
behind.
loose definition of the word back. When the situational crits register, it's really good. Otherwise, you chew through your ammo after a couple of air blasts and are left scrambling for an ammo pack. Ah, yes. Consider the degreaser, which increases your weapon switching speed for swift and vicious combo attacks. Whose switching speed doesn't matter all that much anymore, because in the Tough Break update, they increased the base switching speed of all weapons, meaning you can combo nearly as effectively with just the stock flamethrower without having to sacrifice afterburn damage or extra ammo when air blasting. And of course, how could we forget our beloved phlogistonator? The one that swaps out one of the Pyro's main sources of damage and influence. For nearly free critical hits on demand that, one, lock you in place during activation, making you a sitting duck, and two, are only effective inside of narrow choke points and against brain-dead players.
It is Pyro,
you have
so...
a medic paying rent to reside in your ass.
I popped
have no reason to use anything other than
a couple weeks ago on stream and got like a 5 kill.
This weapon has grown on me a little bit. Only recently, though. I'm a creature of habit, and a pretty nasty one at that. And when this weapon was released in the Jungle Inferno update, I played with it for about 30-some-odd minutes. I didn't like it, I put it down, and I didn't touch it again. Until, you know...
When
which made me so bored out of my goddamn mind that I picked it up.
Oh, COVID.
So, after playing with the Dragon's Fury for... about a year, I figured I'd make a sort of guide, analysis, review.
It's good.
Thing, whatever the hell you want to call it.
What did you use before? I know you watch these videos.
Describe my experiences with it. That's enough of this long-winded introduction. Let's get this show on the road, people.
Let's rock this show.
Oh god, the mask. Zesty Jesus presents. Pretty good song. I don't know what's going on with my audio recently. It's been like really choppy today when I'm recording. Might be my controller, because I am recording on Xbox. I know it's like a really weird way to record videos. It's just what I do. All the different fonts. People don't understand how much time went into just that like thing with the Fury changing
It's a fireball shooter whose projectiles behave more like rockets rather than flame particles. They have a fixed hitbox size and velocity, rather than a variable stream of individual
I never know what the range is, though.
Is partially dependent on that of the pyro. Like rockets, the fireballs can be reflected by other pyros, deleted by the short circuit, and are destroyed once they hit a surface.
You hate the short circuit.
Do retain some flame particle properties, in that they have a fixed lifespan once they spawn, creating limited range, and they can pass through multiple players or buildings, dealing damage as they move through each target. And as you can see here, the Dragon's Fury has very slight damage ramp up and fall off. When you hit a burning player, your damage is tripled. But the mechanics as to how this bonus damage is achieved are a bit strange.
How? Because that seems insane.
Deals less damage on non-burning players, not bonus damage on burning players.
Oh,
you can observe this when you shoot a building. all weapons in TF2 only deal base damage to buildings, which are not
so the base
subject to
damage is
ramp
that
up or fall off. The base damage of the Dragon's Fury is actually
75,
not 25. Kinda weird.
And if they're not on
it
fire.
works. But
Yeah.
you only get this bonus damage if the center of the fireball contacts a player's hitbox. This weird caveat was added about half a year after the Dragon's Fury was put in the game. And I think it was a bit unnecessary given that they nerfed the overall size of the fireball hitbox too. But hey, this makes you work for that bonus damage. So I'm okay with it. Now, the most interesting stat by far
I guess
about
that
the
keeps
Dragon's
being
Fury
broken.
is that when you land a fireball, center or otherwise, you get a briefly boosted firing rate. The general strategy is to chain consecutive attacks together, dishing out massive amounts of burst damage. Now, finally, afterburn from fireballs behaves in a similar fashion to that of normal flame particles.
It seems to be
shorter. The longer a
shorter.
player is in contact with fireballs, the longer the afterburn. One fireball gives you about 3 seconds of afterburn, and anything more than 2 gives you the full 8 seconds of afterburn. And on enemy pyros and Darwin's
that's actually kind of cool. It does that.
Afterburn lingers for exactly 1 tick.
I'm learning a lot here, even though I've been playing this game for like 2 years now.
The only written downside to this weapon is an Airblast delay, which reduces your Airblast interval from 0.8 seconds to 1.6 seconds. Man, that was a lot to get through just to show the functionality of the Dragon's Fury. And after
it's
all
unique,
of that,
I'll give it
you
that.
can see just how strongly this weapon contrasts with the Pyro's other primaries. I akin this mechanical contrast of the Dragon's Fury to that of the Huntsman for Sniper. The Huntsman is a completely different weapon.
I do enjoy the
compared
Huntsman.
to the
Medieval
Sniper's
mode.
other
Oh my
primaries.
god.
You swap
Not a
out
sniper
lightning
rifle.
fast insta-kill across the map hit scan for a slower projectile with an arc. The only similarities between the Huntsman and any sniper rifle is that they have increased damage on charge and both can headshot. Similarly, the Dragon's Fury swaps out a stream
last week I
of
was
flame
clicking on
particles
heads of
for
sniper.
high damage projectiles that you have to aim. The only similarities between the Dragon's Fury and any other flamethrower is that they both set people on fire and have Airblast. With both of these weapons, you have to completely change how you play the class in order to use them effectively.
Good, I think.
For some reason, I
different
think
ways to
many
play the
Pyro
class.
players have a hard time acclimating to the idea of a different weapon for Pyro. I think many players expect the Dragon's Fury to function like a flamethrower, try to use it like one, and then put it down out of frustration when they can't effectively achieve the Pyro meta. This is the most common complaint that I hear about the Dragon's Fury. So let me try to shed a different light on this weapon. The normal Pyro meta is this offensive, supportive, defensive
covered in piss and fire
thing. The Pyro relies on surprise attacks, flanking, and air blasting to make up for his flamethrower's lack of power, and to close the distance to use his burst damage options. He can also puppy guard small areas, like engineer nests, to ward off spies, ubered players, and wayward projectiles. And on occasion, he can waddle into the enemy team holding down mouse 2 and deny enemy uber pushes or projectile spam. And when you play Pyro, you combine all of these aspects together, to varying extents depending on your playstyle. In
Pyro.
play effectively.
W1 AK your front towards enemy.
Is this jack of all roles, but an expert in none.
I do enjoy playing Pyro.
Fury. If you're using this weapon, you can't play the normal Pyro meta. It's an entirely new weapon that changes how you need to play the Pyro. As a subclass, as popular terminology would label it, like the Huntsman Sniper, or Demo Knight, Fat Scout, Gunslinger, etc. But for some reason, the
Fat Scout is probably the least common of those.
Throws people off. I've floated this idea towards other players, and they look at it and go, don't buy this for a hot second, Josh. You're trying to shove some shit down my throat. Perhaps it's the short lifespan of the Dragon's Fury relative to other subclass weaponry, meaning players haven't had enough time to accept the idea of a Pyro subclass, or perhaps it's that the Dragon's Fury looks too similar to other flamethrowers? I'm not too sure. Either way,
when I first started, I could not tell them apart.
Because it transforms the Pyro into an offensive brute, whose mechanics and playstyle are completely different than that of a normal Pyro. Now, mechanically, 3 key aspects of the Dragon's Fury enable this new offensive subclass playstyle, whatever you want to call it, I guess. 1, the raw damage output alone is 20% higher than that of any flamethrower. 2, Fireballs
But you have to land your shots,
fastest
so you have to be
projectile
skilled
speed
with
in the
it
game,
for it to be better, which is how
over
it should
a
be.
shorter range and with a relatively large hitbox means that your burst damage has some scary attack power. And 3, this is the most important one, the range of the Dragon's Fury is 80% longer than that of any flamethrower.
I did not know that. I was never
These
sure
three
how,
things
because
put
like,
together let
just
the
can't
pyro
see.
pick more aggressive fights and win. For example, the Dragon's Fury fucking annihilates scouts. Usually,
well, they have like no health,
General
so
is a strong counter to
you gotta hit
pyro,
'em.
and Scout is of no exception. Normal flamethrowers just aren't fast enough to take hit scan classes down, unless followed up with some seriously good.
Oh my
fire
god,
gun or
that
shotgun
spy!
aim. But the Dragon's Fury can two-shot scouts just as fast, if
And they're
not
also gonna be
faster, than
burning.
they can two-shot the pyro. And pyros can do so at greater ranges than the scout
Burn.
can. The faster projectile
Burns.
speed lets pyros catch scouts mid-air or mid-strafe. And thanks to the Dragon's Fury's increased range and selection of secondaries, scouts can't take their sweet-ass time chipping away at health from a distance. They
Because
either
they're
have to take the
fire.
fight directly to you, or bail
Yeah.
out, or die. It's insanely satisfying to shut down cocky scouts with this thing. Oh, did you see that? Hold on.
What in the world?
That's nasty. That's fucking nasty. Okay.
I'm
All
not
right,
even
so
sure what just happened there.
I hit the
He like
scout
caught
with
him
a score
midair.
shot.
Oh, and he was
Caught him
on
in the
fire
air,
and
hit
got
him
the
with
triple
Dragon's
damage.
Fury, and then he fell down on the descending scorch shot because it was a direct hit.
Oh, because
Hell,
the scorch
Dragon's
shot
Fury is
does, yeah, if you
devastating
hit somebody
in general.
directly, it pops up
Against
a little,
tankier hit
yeah.
scan classes like heavies, your DPS is so high that you can just chew through their health. You can keep at a safe distance and fire away as you bob and weave to avoid their attacks.
That move
4
is actually
shots
sick
for a
now that I
heavy,
think about it
and that
more.
is still really fucking fast. Thanks to the hitbox
Yeah.
size and the fact that fireballs pierce
Most-
enemies, your crowd control capability skyrockets.
Dude, how are they
You can
not
shred
killing
through
him?
medic combos, groups of players, and even buildings by chaining fireballs through multiple targets.
Oh.
More targets in a tighter area means a higher chance of landing consecutive shots.
I've been using
Your
this thing
firing rate
wrong.
Up, your bonus damage up, and the pressure on the enemy high. The Dragon's
I've been
Fury
using
is
this thing
also
wrong for so
very
long.
strong against other pyros. That lingering afterburn lets
Direct
you chain
upgrade
fireballs
against
for
pyros?
bonus
Yeah, 'cause
damage
it's not
on
some-
them too. In fact,
Doesn't
you can
afterburn.
consistently take down other pyros faster with the Dragon's Fury than any other flamethrower. No more
Yeah.
derpy pyro battles where the winner is determined by how many flame particles make their mark or who has a shotgun. Hell, this thing even beats a
I
shotgun
have
unless
a
they're
shotgun.
right in your meat.
The 3 other people playing.
What does that sound? Discord. Oh, I have a Discord server, by the way, if you want to join that.
But the
It's
best
completely free to
thing,
join.
best thing about this offensive capability, the cherry on the Fem Pyro ass Sunday, 2 Fem Pyro jokes in one video, you're getting them both, is that the Dragon's
Fem-
Fury is the most devastating against engineers. Usually,
Because it destroys their
Pyro
buildings.
is pretty useless against the Sentry Nest, unless he gets the drop on them with an Uber charge, and even then,
But I
flamethrowers
guess it could
aren't
also
all that
hit multiple
effective at quickly
buildings.
taking down buildings, especially if they're being actively repaired or defended by other players.
Mario just likes to
Also,
cut out.
Homewrecker exists, and we
Like,
forget
it's
that
very
he can two-shot any building in the game, but
He did
sporadic.
the same joke about 3 times already.
That's Far Cry.
I don't think it's funny anymore.
with the increased damage and weird damage design of the Dragon's Fury, you shred through engineered
no.
buildings like a river does.
And he's using it
if
as
you have a sentry gun to deal
armor.
with and a Dragon's Fury pyro on your team, toss aside those reservations about Ubering pyros. A Dragon's Fury pyro can wipe a sentry nest off
Wait, are you
the
not supposed to
map
Uber pyros?
just as effectively as a soldier, a heavy, or a demo man. And all of these upsides are just from the primary weapon alone. That's because the Dragon's Fury prevents the pyro from being overly reliant on supplementary damage from his secondaries and melee
I don't think-
weapons.
oh,
All of
he-
his
yeah, he has
damage
used his
is
secondary a little
packed
bit.
into his primary firepower. But
I'll see what he uses
secondaries
squirt
are
shot.
still useful with the
I
Dragon's
use squirt
Fury.
shot.
With normal pyro, you
I'm
usually
new to the game,
attack
I'm
with
bad.
your flames first and then follow
Whatever,
up with a
it's in the game.
secondary or melee
Nice.
weapon. But with the Dragon's Fury, secondary weapons are best used the other way around. I find that the Dragon's Fury pairs best with the detonator and
And the squirt
yes,
shot.
the squirt shot. The general idea is to set your intended target or targets on fire from a distance.
Sounds like fish stick
and
on a
then
stick.
follow up by pounding them with fireballs.
Ooh.
Stock flare gun, however,
The
isn't
guy's name
so
was
useful.
just Monica.
Not
It's a
only
Doki
does the
Doki
lack
Literature
of
Club
blast
reference.
radius make it a weak ignition tool, but normal combo pyro is no longer necessary. Your comboing ability is built right into the Dragon's Fury. In the
Yep,
amount of
you
time
don't
it
have to
takes
switch.
you to perform a flare combo and then swap back to your primary, you could
Yeah.
have already done more than twice the
More
amount of damage with just
with the Dragon's
Dragon's
Fury.
Fury.
Yep.
But hold on, we're coming way out of left field here with this one. The Man Melter is a pretty decent choice. You can extinguish teammates
Why?
while avoiding
I don't think
the
I've ever
Airblast
used it.
penalty
Oh,
of the
wait,
Dragon's
doesn't it
Fury.
eat it?
You can then pop someone for 90 damage with those stored crits and follow
Yeah,
up
they
with a puff of
hit
death.
'em.
Now, as for shotguns, unless you're right in the meat for max ramp up, there's
Right
really
in the
no
meat.
point in ever equipping one. If you're at medium to close range anyways, the Dragon's Fury is gonna do more damage faster. And beyond the range of your fireballs,
Like melee
you're
with
gonna deal
pyro.
more
Should,
damage
like,
with any
hardly ever
flare
use it.
gun. And if by some unholy and masochistic reason you're using the gas passer, yes, you do
No.
tend to charge the gas passer faster with the Dragon's Fury than you would any other primary weapon. So
Play
you
gas
can
passer.
cycle this useless
It's
kit
like,
of
yeah.
sadness more often. But I'm not done
Just
yet.
leave it in MVM.
Nope, got more
Billy
to go
Mays here.
through. The Dragon's Fury also has knockback. If you aim at someone's feet, you can pop them in the air for a pseudo airblast effect, letting you combo them in mid-air. The knockback only works if the target's already on
Whoa.
fire, since
Oh, that's
knockback
pyro
scales
vision.
with damage, and it doesn't work on heavies because of their higher knockback resistance. Also, because of the weird way
Maybe
that
they get
triple
netherite
damage
armor.
is achieved, critical hits with this thing are insane. On
That
non-burning
was
players,
300.
you deal 75 damage with a crit, but on burning players, you dish out 225 damage per shot.
no.
That's 9 times the advertised base damage. Oh yeah,
Because,
kind of a
yeah.
post thing here that I didn't mention. Since the Dragon's Fury fires projectiles, you can land air shots with it. Oh, Zesty, it doesn't count if it's not a rocket or a pipe, maybe a flare gun, but you can't do it with pyro.
Why? 'Cause it's fire?
Go and get air shots in 6v6 mode. What are you talking about? You can't do that. Fuck you, just did it, don't care. Christ, that was
I
a
mean,
lot
yeah,
to get
I guess
through
air
this
shots are
time, just to
possible,
show
'cause this is
the
projectile.
upsides of the weapon. But the main point that I want to drive home is that with the Dragon's
board
Fury,
century.
you are no longer this jack of all roles. You become
You are a
an
TAF.
offensive powerhouse. The
And if you use a scorch shot as
desperately
well,
needed this for a more interesting
violence.
feedback-oriented primary weapon. Regular flamethrowers just don't have a satisfying feedback
My audio's
mechanism
cutting out,
unless you combo or airblast somebody. But with the Dragon's Fury, your aim is rewarded with bonus damage, a faster firing rate,
Crazy
the sharp hiss
rewarding.
of a fireball, the flashy flame particle animation. It's a very satisfying
Nice
weapon
shot.
to use.
Jeremy Clarkson. God, the caravanning where they made their own caravans. Man, I miss that Top Gear. That was actual Top Gear with Jeremy Clarkson.
Now, on
Wait,
to the bad
you made a
stuff.
video
Well,
talking about Top
not
Med. That was just like
necessarily
one of the first
bad,
videos I
but
ever
just
did.
kind of annoying. Valve
I guess
had
you're a
to
Top
balance
Gear
out the
fan.
burst damage of the Dragon's
I think you said
Fury,
that in the
and
video.
they did so by gimping the normal pyro's main source of burst damage, air blasting. Being able to repeatedly combo fireballs with the burst damage from reflected projectiles would be insanely
And
strong.
audio is completely
so I think
cutting
an
out
air blast
again.
nerf of some
So-
kind is absolutely necessary.
I keep
But
saying that
there
just in
is
case,
this
like, I ask a
really
question
annoying
and it's been cut
problem, where
out,
if you
then
misfire
that's
an
why
air
I'm asking a
blast,
question.
You have an almost 2
'Cause I wasn't
second
able to hear.
waiting period before you can use your weapon again in any capacity. This just sucks because if you miss time
So don't air blast. So play pyro like me,
1
just don't
second
air
is
blast.
a long time in TF2, especially when you can't attack. I've said this before. Personally, I think this should be changed. I think your primary fire should be available quickly after an air blast, like normal flamethrowers, but the air blast interval should
It's a
remain
balance,
roughly 2
yeah.
seconds long. Or you can, you know, just remove air blast from this weapon entirely. You don't really need it with the type of play this weapon promotes.
Yeah,
Plus,
'cause you're not
I
a
find
support-
myself instinctively air blasting from time to time and crippling myself mid-fight. If you can't fight the temptation, just remove
It's always
it, you
just
know?
soldiers.
Quit cold
Just
turkey.
soldiers.
Another unfortunate side effect of this longer air blast cooldown is that pyros
Ooh,
can't
that
effectively
hurts.
deny uber or knock players around or reflect projectiles away from teammates, making the pyro significantly less effective in the defense and support departments. While the
which is why it's
cooldown
just
for
attack.
reflecting projectiles is crucial, I think reducing the pyro's knockback ability is too much of a sacrifice to make. So perhaps a more creative solution to the Airblast problem would be to make the Airblast only affect players, not projectiles, and then remove the cooldown altogether. This is just food for thought, not saying that any of these changes are the best.
It's kind of like a
Unlike
fish stick
how
on a
so
stick
many people take other
approach with
opinions of
Bad
mine.
Weapon
Oh,
Academy
Zesty
on how to
thinks
fix
that
it.
this change should happen, therefore he thinks it's the best and only one in his mind. Let's berate and attack him for it. So you know what? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. That's what they're there for.
I doubt they'll change it.
Gotta get those clicks,
But I like the
gotta
idea.
drive those interactions up. Listen, if anyone does YouTube for a living, I am so fucking sorry. It's fucking disastrous, and I am genuinely interested in what you guys have to say. I love talking about this game. I like having civil discourse about it, so, you know, let me know what you guys think. Also, bursts of fire instead of a wide stream of flame particles makes the Dragon's Fury a very poor spy checking tool, further pulling the pyro out of the support department. You go from a precautionary spy checker to a reactionary spy killer, just like everyone else most of the time. But the biggest objective problem with the Dragon's Fury is that it's buggy. Really buggy.
It
For
didn't
example,
consume ammo? That's
Dragon's
JonTron.
Fury
They interact
fireballs
and
just
stuff
get
too.
deleted by other projectiles. Well, not deleted, but they end up doing no damage if they pass through certain entities, like rockets or syringes. So if you're a medic getting run down by a Dragon's Fury pyro,
I guess it's projectiles,
just whip out any
that's what it
syringe
said,
gun
so.
and you can't die. So, hey,
pills and
there's
stuff,
another
too.
reason to use the overdose if I didn't sell you on it before. I
The
rarely
overdose.
experienced this bug,
That was the
however,
first video.
likely because the
The underrated
chances of a
overdose, I
fireball
believe.
coming into contact with another projectile mid-air are low. Except for syringes. But most medic players use the crossbow anyway,
uses
so
syringes?
that's of no concern. But this bug
It only
is
happened
not
twice?
nearly as bad as the one that Shonik describes in this video. Certain map
Shonik.
elements are
Who's that?
grouped together in such a way that their bounding boxes far exceed where the collision holes of players actually interact with them. When certain entities come into contact with these bounding boxes, like fireballs, they simply get deleted. So on certain maps, you have these massive areas where some weapons will simply not work, including the Dragon's Fury. It's infuriating when in one
Wait,
moment,
so like you
have a fight in
can't
the
do it
bag,
on a
and then
ramp?
Suddenly, you can't shoot your fucking gun. Another minor problem with the Dragon's
Like the
Fury
short
is that
circuit, but it's a
fireballs
ramp.
utilize dynamic lighting. So as soon as they spawn, which is somewhere around your head, you effectively flashbang yourself. It's not pleasant,
My
but
eyes.
thankfully, using pyrovision gets rid
Makes it
of
a lot
this
better.
issue.
They try to get you to play the game.
Okay, I need to try that.
A visual clusterfuck I cannot even begin to describe. And yeah, wow, that was a long one.
Tripping
My
acid.
throat hurts now. Despite its strong, that's a statement up to interpretation. That's not even scripted. That just came out. Wow. Where's my mind at today? Anyway, despite its drawbacks,
I feel you there.
I still strongly recommend that you give the Dragon's Fury a shot. It's a lot of fun to play with.
And
like
I'm gonna
every
use
good
it the
unlock,
right way.
The Dragon's Fury makes the pyro stronger in some aspects, but weaker in others. I will admit, using the Dragon's Fury is a bit like writing with your non-dominant hand. You can get used to it and get good with it. It's just very alien and uncomfortable at first. Thankfully, the Dragon's Fury is
I don't know.
still
I guess I'm
good
not used to
despite
playing pyro
everything
normally,
going
so
against it. Much unlike some of Pyro's
it'd be easier
other
for me to learn.
weapons. Just what the fuck are we supposed to do with these? Oh wait, I know!
The hot hand.
Know your fucking place, trash.
Trash. Oh god, the T-posing pyro doing a spin. Inactive, active? I don't know what... Oh, that was the, underrated overdose? Yeah, which was actually the first video. I reacted to, I think this is what, like the fourth or fifth video I've reacted to by Zesty, and it's a fantastic. I really like the way you've edited this one. Really good. Oh god. Everything else by me. Whatever everything else consider that. Another big one done. Yeah, this is a good video. It's worth every bit of 300,000 views. Done a lot of videos about Pyro. Guess that Pyro main now? What is your main, Zesty? Reddit. And Pyro Mod. Thanks all for watching. Oh man. That was a really good video, especially you start talking about other people like doing YouTube for a living. That's funny. Zesty, I know you're watching this video. Great video as always. People have been commenting, asking when the next Zesty video is going to come out. Like, people are commenting on my video. I do read every comment on all my videos on my channel. Like, last week? Yeah, the last week I did 21 videos and I read every single comment on them and replied to a lot of them. So you know I'm reading it, which is insane. The thumbnail is also fantastic. So this is a great video. I enjoyed it. Now I know how to use the Dragon's Fury the correct way. So I'm definitely going to try that out on stream today at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. An hour and a half after this video is live, I should be streaming. And I'll be playing on like Uncle Topia. So you can join me as well. Because I love playing. We usually just go into a server that has like nobody on it. And then we fill up the entire server. And then people are waiting to get in. We also get a Discord call on my Discord server. And we can get you in that. It's a private like little chat. And we just talk and stream can hear you. And it's just a great time. So great video. Leave some comments down below. For what Zesty video you want me to react to next, or what other video if it's not a Zesty video. Scratch Universe episode 2 will be out on Sunday. Patrons get all the videos a day early. Hope you have a great, wonderful rest of the day. But until the next video, take care and cue the music.
We were playing an asshole.